Welcome to this episode of EagleAir TV. I'm Lucas Finger. This episode features vaccines, foreign language, athletic 8th hour, Damon West, Bookbox, and our Uke in the know. Vaccines have begun being administered in Christian County and to Nixa staff. Here's a peek into the process.
The COVID-19 vaccines have become more widely available, allowing teachers around the world, including Nixa faculty, to get their protection from the pandemic.
So a lot of our teachers are getting vaccinated through Christian County Health Department, and that is the way that we have gone about it. And it starts with the district office, with central office. They sent out a sign-up sheet and teachers could sign up, and then there are some needs-based things as far as it's not first come, first serve. You have to fall into a certain category before you can actually get the shot and get the vaccination.
Many think of the vaccine process as a long and intricate endeavor, but as it turns out, it's simpler and quicker than you might think.
It was very, very streamlined, so it was very smooth. We went in, we checked in with Alps Pharmacy and gave them our insurance information, and then they took us out of that room and we waited in a line, and they had everyone distanced really well, and there were just little, not really rooms, they had like little curtains between where you could go get your vaccine there.
Even though vaccinations are underway, there is still a lot up in the air about whether or not it will be enough for a normal 2021-22 school year.
I think it will help with some of the regulations that we have in place now, and maybe being able to look at things differently as far as, you know, I know one big thing is lunch. Like kids don't want to eat in the classroom, and teachers want their lunch too. So being able to maybe get kids back in the commons for lunch and not having them eat in the classrooms, and not being so aware of having to social distance, having the dividers up in classrooms, being able to take some of those things down that are going to be, you know, remnants of COVID. I think it'll be interesting years down the road when we look back on this time.
With vaccinations on the rise, the end of the pandemic seems to be on the horizon, allowing life in the Midwest and across the world to return to a sense of normalcy. For EagleAir TV, this has been Lucas Finger.
Nixa High School has a growing foreign language program. Marty Taylor-Cabras gives us more.
El programa de lenguas extranjeras en el Instituto de Nixa te puede ayudar en tu día a día. Drew Douglas dice que aprender una lengua extranjera le ha ayudado de formas muy distintas durante su carrera.
So I started learning Spanish when I was in grade school and middle school. I remember taking Spanish classes, and I never really thought that I would ever be fluent in Spanish. I never thought that I would use it as much as I do now. Working as a journalist and now working as a public information officer and now as the director of communications for the city of Nixa, having Spanish is always this added extra skill. There's a growing number of people in the United States who speak Spanish, and so it's certainly not going to hurt me being able to communicate with those people in their own language. It adds a whole other audience that I can engage with and interact with at a level where they understand. Spanish is a beautiful language to speak. I think it's really fun. It's a little bit hard sometimes when you're learning the conjugation of verbs and all that stuff. It's a little bit of a transition for folks. But once you get it, Spanish is really simple. It's much easier than English in some ways because the rules are consistent, right? In English, there's always these exceptions to all the rules, and it's kind of hard to learn English. But Spanish is just really, it has a very simple structure. And so once you kind of get the hang of those rules, it's easy to add in new vocabulary.
Ashley Dance dice que aprender otra lengua tiene muchos beneficios.
For me, it has really changed my perspective on the world. So it's kind of made me a lot more open-minded and a lot more compassionate. And I think it's not that I wasn't already before, but it really changes how you view different cultures and your understanding of, you know, the world is bigger than just where you live. As far as in my job and my career, I feel like I can reach more students that way. Whenever I have Spanish-speaking students, it's nice to be able to speak to them in their own language too. And I think it's really rewarding to be able to help students learn how to see the world in a little bit of a different way. I think people should learn Spanish or just any language in general, just because there's endless benefits to it and you can take it anywhere you go. You can use it in any job.
Para aprender más sobre el programa de lenguas extranjeras, visita a Ashley Dens o a los consejeros. Para EagleAir TV, este ha sido Martita Ricabras.
Athletic 8th Hour is benefiting students in many ways. Phoebe Gardner explains.
All students participating in a sport are required to take 8th hour athletics this year. However, it counts as an elective and not a PE credit. Coach Darty says the athletic 8th hour is benefiting his athletes.
The biggest benefit to 8th hour athletics is getting our kids out of there earlier. I mean, we can start practice earlier, so we get out earlier. They have more time to actually get their homework done. Because I know some of our sports, and a lot of our sports, they're on the road playing games a lot of nights of the week. So every night you have practice, you can get home by 5:30 or something. That gives you some nights that can get some stuff done instead of getting home at 11 o'clock every night, have homework to do. So I think that's definitely a benefit for us and for all the kids. You know, really, I mean, we do so much weight training and agilities and stuff. I feel like it's very similar to weights. So if weights is a PE credit, then I mean, there's really a lot of similarities there. We do about the same thing. So a lot of my guys will have weights and this, but some of my guys just have this for their weights class. So they're doing all their agility stuff. Honestly, between what we do and what a normal PE class does, we probably burn more calories than they do, I'd say, on a daily basis. I mean, we are in my classroom a little bit, but for the most part, we're burning as many calories as they are or more, I would say.
Coach Brumley says that having this extra hour is saving his athletes time.
I do think it does, not only because they're going to be in shape and be able to handle the practices. We had to spend a little bit of time of practice getting in shape. Well, now we can use that practice time just for the technique and the drills and the skills that are involved. And I think it's just a real benefit for those athletes in too, time-wise. Traditionally we'd get out of practice about 5:15. Now we'll be out at 4:15.
Athletic 8th Hour is designed to help students excel in their sport. For EagleAir TV, this has been Phoebe Gardner reporting.
As many of you know, Damon West, the coffee bean guy, recently spoke to Nixa High School. TJ Sorgenfrey has more.
Damon West visited to speak to Nixa students on February 3rd.
I think that students can relate to my story because they see a guy in front of them that could be them. And they also see the fact that I've had every opportunity and every advantage in life, and my outcome was still addiction and incarceration. And if that could happen to me, then that can happen to anybody.
West says that students have the ability to overcome circumstances by being a coffee bean.
Life is going to be difficult. Life's going to be tough, especially in these years in high school. But, and it can beat you down and make you soft and sad and weak, or make you hard and mad and mean like the egg. Or you can choose to be like the coffee bean. And that's the thing. If students understand that there's a power inside them to change their environment around them, then they can start making their high school a better place.
West gives advice about how to deal with adversity.
Two things I've learned about adversity: that it's never as bad as I think it's going to be, and I'm always capable of way more than I think I am. And I have to remind myself of that all the time.
He emphasizes the importance of community.
One of the key things about staying positive is to find other positive people around you, and you kind of cultivate an atmosphere of positivity like that, and you have people to lean on. Never be afraid to lean on people. Ask people for help all the time.
His life boils down to one goal.
The goal in life is to be a coffee bean. That's why my call to action at the end of every presentation is those four words: be a coffee bean.
For EagleAir TV, this has been TJ Sorgenfrey.
Nixa Schools has a brand new program targeted towards people who want to read but don't know what book to get. Caleb Stafford elaborates.
The Book Box program is a program started last year to help students and teachers who want to broaden their reading selection. It archives previous books students have read before and enjoyed. Sheila Michaels tells us more about the program.
The Book Box program is a program we started this year, and it's a subscription service that anyone in the high school can sign up for, student or staff. They tell us reading preferences, and then we hand select a book for them, fill up their box, and then deliver it to their classroom. They rate the book, and then when we're finished, they bring the box back and we refill it and send it back out. People can request an audiobook if they would like that. We can include headphones with the audiobook. And then we also try to include maybe like a vinyl sticker or a snack or a treat. In December and January, we put hot chocolate. In October, we put some hot cider. So we try to put some fun things in there to go with the read. I was inspired by my husband because he was talking to me. He is a big reader, but he's also in the business world, and so he's not in the library a lot. And he said, you know, I just need like some way for someone to pick a good book for me and give it to me and say, this is good, read this. And I'm like, oh, if he's feeling that way, there are probably others that feel that way too. And subscription boxes are so popular. You can get a subscription box for anything these days. So we thought, why not try it with library books?
Jamie Scriven, a student at the school, shares her experience with the program so far.
It's actually a terrific idea because it allows students to be able to not have to really worry about going to the library and finding a book that you're not quite sure if you'll even like. And I think that's a terrific idea for the librarians to get to know their students. I would recommend it to people that want to read but aren't quite sure what they should read, because with the book box you can fill out a form and it asks you do you like to read sports books? What kind of books do you like to read? Would you want to read fiction, nonfiction? And it really helps you want to read more because you find stuff that maybe you wouldn't find if you just walked around.
To join, just go to the library Canvas page and fill out the survey sharing the same name. This has been Caleb Stafford for EagleAir TV.
Finally, TJ Sorgenfreit interviews one of our new teachers here at NHS in this next segment of our Uke in the Know.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Aloha, and welcome to this edition of our Uke in the Know. Registration for summer school classes will be open on March 25th at 7 p.m. So make sure to head on over to the Nixa High School website to check it out. We have a new EagleAir podcast series called Will Evan. Make sure to go check it out on nixajournalism.net. Prom is on April 24th, so make sure to prom-pose to your special someone or a friend. Today I got to know one of our newer teachers here at NHS. Take a look. Hello, well today we'll be talking to one of our newer teachers, Miss Cass Bray, about herself. So, what have you liked about Nixa?
Well, coming from a small school, my previous district only had 200 students in the whole building. So the size, the enormity, figuring out the building has been challenging, exciting. I love what I'm getting to teach, and diversity. It's been awesome to get to work with so many different students and people with different backgrounds.
I've seen you sing at some of the basketball games. So, I assume you have some sort of singing career.
I did. In between. I taught at Ozark, and left my teaching position at Ozark to go take a full-time singing job in Branson, where I was a Patsy Cline impersonator. And then I joined a show called The Bald Knobbers.
You've also had some other interesting life experiences, like in Washington, D.C.
I did. I was really fortunate. I've sung the national anthem at a Cardinals game and a Royals game, and then really unique opportunity for some events for a couple of different presidents. And when I worked in D.C., I actually got to make some music with, at the time, he was Senator Ashcroft, but he was with a group of men called the Singing Senators, and I got to do some outings, casual outings with him and parties and things like that. But music has just always been such a, wow, I can't believe I get to do this kind of stuff.
Well, I think that's all the questions I have. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
It was really good having you on our
Absolutely.
set.
I appreciate it. It's fun to learn new things about your teachers.
Yeah, it is. Have a great spring break, and as always, thanks for tuning in to this edition of our Uke in the Know.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. You say you disapprove, I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming. There's no way that you make it, and maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fight back?
Thanks for tuning into this episode of EagleAir TV. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Enjoy your spring break, and we'll see you next time.